What is going on, everyone? Two things. One, I really hope I am not muted. And two, I'm hoping the bell didn't go off because it was super annoying. Let me know whether you can actually hear me. I know I'm going to get muted, spammed in the chat if I'm not. I'm definitely streaming on the right, you know what, tonight. The right settings. Might still be rubbish, but I am streaming on the right settings, so hopefully it'll be okay. It wasn't too good for the team you stream earlier, but it was okay. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not muted. I know what the issue is. I just got to remember not to do it every time. It was 6 minutes. It was 6 p.m. just a minute ago. I swear the deadline is closer than we can imagine. The deadline is 12 hours away, just over 12 hours away. I'm knackered, by the way. I probably look at it as well. I'm absolutely knackered. I thought I'd do a quick. Fozzie, come on, you know the deal. You out of everyone knows the deal by now. I thought I would do a quick half an hour-ish stream just to chat. I gotta be honest, I just saw someone saying that I'm overthinking. I'm not. I'm feeling pretty good about my draft, to be honest. Not feeling. I feel okay. There's a few players that I might change, but we'll see. Can't keep up 90k. Yes, 90,000 last night. Thanks very much to everyone that subscribed who haven't already hit that button. I won't keep going on about it tonight, but you know it's a big deal to me. So we'll see how it goes. What else we got in the chat? I was in bed and my phone pinged, picked it up and thought, what the hell? Yeah, why not? Like, it's deadline tomorrow. This won't be happening every week. I will be going back to normal, regular content. Sunday stream, Thursday stream. That is it, most of the time anyway. Too early in the season. Yeah, I'm definitely not drinking. I've got to go to Tesco in the morning. Early morning Tesco trip ahead of Breakfast Club and Deadline stream. I'm looking forward to the Deadline stream and Breakfast Club tomorrow. I love getting to do them one after another. It's going to be good. I'll bring my team up in just a second. Before I bring the team up, I'm just going to do the quick Patron shout out before I forget. Because on these streams where I don't do them regularly, I always forget to do it. So shout out to everybody that's signed up to Patreon. Thanks very much. We're up to 100 patrons now, which is awesome. The Q&A from today is also up as well. So if you want to go and listen to that, you can sign up and have a listen or a watch. It's a video, of course. And I'll have my team up there as well tomorrow. So thanks very much to everyone that has signed up. And we've got so many now. We've got a new third board as well. So Bambi, Eddie, Brian, Lewis, Benjamin, all signed up in since the last stream. So thanks very much to all of you lot as well. All right, here's the team. Oh, look, I've not put the media source on top. Nightmare. These are the team. I don't want to talk about my team too much. So I did a whole video on it, and it hasn't changed, right? So that is the team. I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty happy. The only change I've made, actually, is Pulisic to Son. I'm not going to go with Pulisic, I don't think, because there's no way. There's no guarantee he starts, and then it's Liverpool. So it's not the easiest fixture. So I'll probably either go with Son or Havertz. I'm not ruling out Havertz. The thing I like about Son is he's got two good fixtures. Whereas Chelsea do play Liverpool in Gameweek 2. Not saying they can't win that game or they won't score any goals. But Son against Everton and Southampton is probably a little bit better. That's all I'm thinking. The only thing I don't like about having Son is, I'm never going to get that right, that name constantly, is it doesn't give me the extra 0.5 in the bank. I kind of like the idea of that, to be honest. Ni hao, thanks very much. What do you think about planning captaincy in advance? I mean, form over fixtures or the other way around. I like targeting the fixture, but you need to do a bit of both. Like, if a player's not playing well, and they've also had good fixtures, and they're still not playing well, then maybe I wouldn't go for them. But if a player's been playing bad, but they've also played loads of top 6 teams, or they haven't scored many points and they're playing lots of top 6 teams, then I'd probably go for the fixtures. Usually with captaincy, I target fixtures, simple as that. Find the best fixture, then find the best player, and go right there. Calvert-Lewin staring you right in the face. Calvert-Lewin's even on the thumbnail. I'll tell you now, Calvert-Lewin has turned into this monster where people are fearing him. It's ridiculous. It's Calvert. Like, I think he's a good option, but becoming fearful of Calvert-Lewin, you need to chill out, people. You need to chill out. Your team is 10 out of 11 of mine. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these players are popular picks, right? I don't know what the exact percentage ownerships are, but yeah. Please add more Patreon season keeper options. Sold out. Yeah, I might do at some point. Ultimately, I'm not going to do it before Game Week 1, though, because I'm not going to be on WhatsApp much between now and the deadline, because obviously of the time, and I'll be streaming tomorrow. But I might add some at some point. I want to make sure I can manage it, basically. I don't want to open up that top tier to so many people I can't get back to everyone, because I just don't think that's fair. So I'll see. The other tiers are still open if you want the extra content and stuff. Sunglasses Club, Suratsu, HDMI cable here, so another season. Cheers, Physio. Hope you're doing well with your triple Chelsea, no doubt. Thanks very much for that. Ake over Mitrovic due to the likelihood of City keeping clean sheets. The thing is, you don't even know if Ake is going to start, right? If you continue this stream until deadline, you'll break the world record for longest FPL stream. Well, Planet FPL did a 24-hour stream, so it wasn't strictly all FPL talk, but a lot of it was, right? A lot of hard work has gone into the last few weeks. Sunday day of rest and football to catch up on. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks very much for the support, David. Absolute legend. Is the suit coming out tomorrow? It might do, yeah. I've been thinking about it. We'll see if I remember. Busy morning. Got to go to Tesco, then do Breakfast Club. Then I'm going to have like 5 or 10 minutes to switch to my stream. It's going to be busy. Spadman97. What are your thoughts on a Grealish, Fernandes, Salah, Pulisic midfield? I mean, Fernandes and Grealish, I'm not sure you need them for game 1. Obviously, they both blank. That's the problem. So you can maybe fit in Aubameyang instead, or Havertz or Son. Might be better options for game 1. I don't think having Grealish and Fernandes from the start is necessarily a good idea, just because they don't play. Simple as that. I think you can get away with benching one, but not both. Just double. Yeah, I've just got Shaw. I'm still thinking about getting rid of Shaw, but I keep coming back to just having him. At the end of the day, Shaw's not going to be a season keeper for me. And if I haven't got 0.5 in the bank now, but by the time I actually want to potentially look to transfer Shaw out, maybe even in game week 3. It might be in game week 3, I don't know. I'll have done Aubameyang to a different player, so I'll have a bit of money in the bank. So, I mean, I've said this a million times. Chilwell is someone I'm looking at. FPL Black Box, I'm guessing this is Mark. Mark's gone from like being away from FPL to being all over FPL. There's no way Az is tuning in at 11:15 at night. Still no United attacker in game week 2. Still no United attacker in game week 2. Correct. It's not happening. Yeah, I don't. That's the plan. That's the current plan. But who knows? Things can change, right? I'm not ruling them out completely. I know how good they can be, but certainly not looking to fund Bruno Fernandes anyway. And again, not that I think he's a bad idea before I get lynched. I just can't find 1.5 million. Not in a way that I like. Like if I was going to do anything with extra money right now, I'd probably get Robertson. I think Robertson's someone I'd like, but I think I'd maybe go without him for the first few weeks. You need help should you get Pulisic. I think Pulisic's one of those players that everybody wants, but there's just no guarantee starts in the first game week. Obviously, he can come off the bench and do well, but it's absolutely no guarantee at all. When Man United are raining the goals, you'll be crying. I won't though, will I? I'll be happy that they're doing well. You've also got to get the right one. What if they're raining goals? You've got Fernandes. It's Martial pumping them in. Is this my main team? This is my only team, of course. I abide by the FPL rules. One team only. This is the team. Yeah, I think at this point, the only thing that's going to change in this team is Son to Havertz and Justin and Shaw. I don't want to overthink those defensive positions too much. Like I think Justin is, if Justin's okay till October, game week 4 is October 3rd. So even if Ricardo was back fully training, are they going to pump him straight into the team? Maybe. My only worry about Justin now is that he doesn't play right back or right wing back. That he may play right centre back. And then he's not such a good option. And also, they are without Evans. I did see Rodgers talking up maybe putting Ndidi in a back 3, which would be probably be better than playing Morgan. But I'm not hugely confident. But they obviously have the fixtures. So for 4.5, I might just risk it. Gavin, thanks very much. Is Sheffield United defence slept on? O'Connell 0.8%, 5 million. I think it's just a simple case of they've gone up in price, which is fair enough considering how many points and clean sheets they got last year, and suddenly they're not so desirable. Like at 5 million, you're going up against Seiss and Shaw and Reece James, and they're suddenly not so exciting. Obviously, Dean Henderson's left could be a miss. I think I've said this before, but Ramsdale, good keeper. Is he going to be as good as Dean Henderson? Depends whether you want to bank on that from the off, basically. But don't worry too much about ownership. Honestly, ignore ownership for the most part. You could go for high ownership players just to make sure you don't fall too far behind. But ultimately, I'm not I honestly could not tell you what the ownership levels are of these players. I've got a fair idea of some of them because I obviously did a video on the Gameweek 1 template team. And so Werner was over 45%. I'm sure he still is. And Mitrovic probably around 30%. And the way people are talking on Twitter, I expect Calvert-Lewin's about 80% owned at this point. No one talks about Adama Traore or even Jimenez. Can you explain why? Well, Adama Traore, I think at one point it was because no one really knew if he was 100% going to start. Now it's because there's potential that he plays right wing back. Not to say that he can't get attacking returns from that position, but that's where he might play, right? And it's not really that, again, desirable is going to be my word today, but not that desirable playing right wing back. And Jimenez, I think it's just the first two fixtures. Sheffield United away, if they are as good as last year defensively, that's not great. And then it's Man City. So like, no one's worried about Jimenez going mad with hauls, double-digit hauls in the first two game weeks. So that's why no one's talking about him. I think if you're going 8.5, you just go Ings from the off. We're going to do another video tomorrow before the deadline. I'll do a deadline stream. So it'll be, I think Breakfast Club's going to be like 9:30 till about 10ish on Fantasy Football Scout. And then with Luke. And then from about 10, I'll try and jump over as quickly as possible. Right up until 11 o'clock, there'll be a deadline stream on this channel. So it's happening. Is owning Havertz and Werner too much? I don't think so. Like, at the end of the day, like, I've got Werner in right now, really happy with him. All I'm really weighing up with Havertz is him versus Son. I'm not really worrying the fact I got Werner. I mean, ultimately, I think Chelsea are going to score so many goals this year. Doubling up is not an issue, I don't think. Yeah, a lot of people doing Ings to Martial in Game Week 2, or at least a lot of people are saying they're doing that. Opinion on Lucas Digne. It's my first FPL year. Sice or Egan. I really do think Sice at 5 million is a great buy. There's always the chance, of course, that Wolves' defence is suddenly no good. But right now, all we've got to base on is some pre-season stuff, of which it's like not that much, plus last year. And Wolves' defence last year was so good. So I really like Sice. What was the other question? Yeah, Lucas Digne, if you can fit him in, I do think he's a really good option for 6 million. Arguably, could be better than Doherty. Now that Everton have improved that midfield, potentially. PF Racing Media, remember to hit that sub button. Absolutely, thanks very much. We are on 93,500. Look, the 100,000 dream for Game Week 1 is not going to happen, but we can make it happen soon, I'm sure. Thoughts on Nketiah for the first two games? I think Nketiah is simple to me. If he plays the first two games, he will probably score as much, if not a little bit more, than any of the other 6 million forwards. But no one can sit here and tell you he's definitely going to play the first two. Right? Lacazette's still there. There's no way he won't be playing at all if he's still at that club. Maybe he'll be sold, but I don't know about anyone else. I've hardly seen any news like linking him out. So Nketiah for me, he's so short term. I think I just don't want to waste a transfer there. The thing is, this is the way everyone keeps talking, like, I think I said this on a video earlier, about Nketiah, yeah, I'll just transfer him out later on, this player, I'll just transfer them out. But everyone's forgetting, they're also trying to get Man United players in, Man City players. Everyone seems to be doing the Aubameyang to De Bruyne switch. So that's already one transfer in the first 2 weeks done. So one of them could be on Nketiah, as long as you've got loads of other kind of players you're happy to keep for a few weeks. But I would just... That's why I'm going for Mitrovic. I don't even necessarily like Mitrovic as an option, to be honest. But compared to the other 6 millions, and I do have, if I do Son to Havertz, I do have 0.5, so I could go up to Wilson or Antonio. But ultimately, I don't really like Mitrovic. But I prefer the structure of the squad in a 3-4-3. And I just like the fact I can keep him for the first 7 or 8 fairly okay fixtures. Penalties are nailed on. It's boring, but it is. It is what it is, you know? I need some water. Opinion on Van Dyke. Van Dyke is in my fan team squad. He's only 6 million there. I think Van Dyke's okay. If you're going to double up and you want to save a bit of money, I don't think there's a huge issue going Trent and Van Dyke instead of Trent and Robertson. Obviously, everyone wants the Trent and Robbo. But Van Dyke, he's nailed, right? He's going to play every single game. Wasn't that far behind Robertson. If Van Dyke's fit, he plays. Robertson, they've now got a backup. Could miss a few games here or there. I don't think it's going to be so much that he's suddenly like playing every other game or missing 1 in 3. But yeah, I think Van Dijk's fine for 0.5 less. Going to get a few goals again this year. Alfred, thanks very much. What about Batshuayi? He scores when he gets minutes. Does he? He doesn't get many minutes though, does he? Obviously, he's probably going to at Crystal Palace, but it's not like Ayew has been an awful player for them. But yeah, I'm assuming they've got Batshuayi in to play a good amount of minutes. Let's see how he integrates first, honestly, because he's one of those players that I always feel like he should have done better by now than he has in the league. And it's just never been right for him. Whether or not that's just the team he's been at, or actually he's just not as good as maybe we think he is. But there's no way I would start with him, I don't think. I'd want to wait and see. Robertson, thanks very much. Robertson or Doherty, Trent already. So I mean, Robertson's a better pick than Doherty for me, but he's 1 million, so it depends what you 1 million extra. So it really does depend on what you do with that, right? But yeah, Robertson for me. I know Liverpool double up for the first maybe 2 or 3 is not ideal, but after that, they're long-term picks, right? You keep them in because you know they're going to get enough hauls at the same time. The team, thanks very much. The team reveals on Fantasy Football Scout weekly, yes, but I don't think they'll always be the same people. I don't know 100%, but I think they're going to be different people every week. Sometimes it'll be the same person, but other times, yeah, might be like once. Yeah, like a different person next week, sorry. My team looks identical to yours. Is that bad? I mean, that depends whether you think this team looks good or not. I wouldn't copy it though. If you come to this same team by accident, then fair enough. But I wouldn't copy it. Right? I had a bad year last year. Who knows? It could happen again. Rafael, thanks very much. Trent, Ward-Prowse, Davis, Salah, Orbis, Minamino, Foden for game week 2. Okay. There's no. I mean, Minamino's definitely not. Well, not definitely going to not start, but I'd be surprised if he does. Same with Nketiah, right? I mean, overall the team looks fine. Ward-Prowse, Davis, Salah. I mean, it's all fairly solid picks, but I'm not sure about Nketiah, like for the reasons I said just a minute ago. Minamino, not going to play. Chris Smith, thanks very much. Atsu T, get the nice badge next to your name now. Saraj, I think that is. Thanks very much. Top 3 overhyped no-goes. I don't know if there are any. There's one player that I don't know his ownership, so I don't actually know if he's like realistically overhyped. But I see a lot of talk about Tierney. I got to be honest, I'm not interested at all. He is a player at some point that I would love in my team when the time's right. When he's playing left wing back or left back attacking, and when Arsenal might actually be good defensively. But there's no way I'd want to back Tierney at the moment. So I think he's maybe a little bit overhyped by some people. Top 3, that I can't think of any off the top of my head. Trouble is with Justin, you're booking in a transfer. I know. But potentially offers good value before that. Van der Beek to be the bargain of the season. Maybe. Let's see how advanced he plays first. You just don't know, do you, how far forward he's going to play. If he sits deep or something like that, then suddenly no good. If he comes in, he's playing more advanced than Bruno Fernandes, then that gets interesting. That would be interesting. Loving your work. Thanks very much, Chris. I free hitted last year with Antonio. Oh, for Norwich game. Amazing. Highest scoring non-defender under 7 million. Oof, non-defender under 7 million. That is tricky. It could be Foden if he gets enough minutes. Right now, I'd probably say one of the strikers. The thing is, there's midfielders that could be great. Jota at Wolves, for example, if he gets enough minutes. And if he could do it early on as well. Foden, if he gets enough minutes as well. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. That's probably it for midfielders. I mean, people like Ward-Prowse are going to play every minute, so they're going to tick over slowly. But maybe one of the forwards, like the problem with Antonio is I've just got no faith that he'll play a full season. So maybe someone like Chris Wood. Pankaj, thanks very much. Why is Vardy being neglected by many? Werner might be going better to bring game week 3 once he's settled down. Also, 2 premium forwards or 3 premium mids. I mean, the last question really depends on who it is, right? I think the thing I like about premium midfielders is there's a lot of cheap forwards I like. It's not necessarily the same in midfield, so that's kind of why I've gone that way round. I think Vardy's being neglected because he's that little bit more than Werner, and Maddison's out. And they've not looked great for a while. That's not to say you shouldn't bring him in, but that's why people are maybe overlooking him. But 4 out of the first 5 fixtures are amazing. And if he bangs, and we know how streaky he can be, could be a really good option. And yeah, Werner for game week 3 if you wanted to wait. But it's not. I don't think Brighton's really that difficult. Not really a difficult defence for me. So again, if Chelsea could gel quickly and hit the ground running, job done. I think, will Lamptey be Brighton first choice? Yes, I think so. Although if there's any Brighton fans in the chat, let me know if that's wrong. But I think yes, but there are players who could play instead of him. So I don't know if he's going to play every single game. But is in being the kind of highest priority, yes. But I don't know if he's necessarily going to be nailed to play 38 game weeks. Gareth, what's your thoughts on Lewis, Mitchell, Justin? Not overconfident. You got all three of them. It's very risky, right? Jamal Lewis is fine. He's going to play. You'd imagine he'd play week in, week out. Not necessarily in the best defence, though. And Mitchell's short term and Justin's short term as well. So I'd maybe think about getting someone in there who's a bit more longer term. If you can spare like an extra 0.5 to upgrade Mitchell, that would be good. James, thanks very much. Pranav, thanks very much. Thoughts on Che Adams and Davis or Dyer as Spurs defender? Yeah, I think I would. I mean, don't get me wrong. Davis and Dyer, not really like massively attacking either of them. I think I prefer Davis though. Maybe a little bit of kind of open play assist potential versus how many goals is Dyer going to get. They should both be pretty nailed on, I think. And your thoughts on Che Adams? I think he's a good alternative to Mitrovic, but obviously you don't get that completely nailed on for every game, completely nailed on for 90 minutes. So you're banking on him getting his points a bit quicker, like within the first 70 minutes before he gets subbed off. But the fixtures are good for Southampton, so if you want to take or make the move because of that, he could be a decent option. I've literally gone for Mitrovic because I don't want to be worrying about that spot. I don't want to be making transfers after a few weeks because, you know, perhaps Adams isn't getting enough minutes or whatever. Pulisic versus Havertz, I've kind of already talked about. I think Havertz for game week 1 just because you're sure he's going to play. Longer term, Pulisic is probably the number 1 Chelsea player that I would want. So maybe in a few weeks that will change. And thoughts on Ben Davies, like I just said, yeah, I think he's a good pick. If you want a Spurs defender at least, he's a good pick. Dominic, thanks very much. You've been here since day 1. Whew. Great content as always. Is Werner must own? 48% of people have him follow the crown or differentiate. First of all, do not worry about differentiating your team at this point in time. In my opinion, it does not matter. If you think he's a good option, go for him. Do not go for him just because he's 48%. Don't ignore him because he's 48%. Look at your team. If you've got Vardy and you think Vardy's going to do better, keep Vardy. If you don't and you think Werner's the man, just get Werner. Don't worry about that ownership. It is high. I know ownership is a worry for people. It's game week 1. No one knows exactly what's going to happen. So he has gone up a bit though. He was 44% at one point. But yeah, try not to worry too much about ownership at this point. Ownership is probably a bigger question, a bigger topic. I think there is perhaps a strategy to not ignore it completely and almost mitigate the risk. Like if someone is scoring loads and they're highly owned, maybe it's worth just getting them in. But this early on, when you don't know what's going to happen, I wouldn't worry about it. Won't worry about it too much. Sam, opinions on Ake? Bargain if he plays week in, week out. We just don't know at the moment. So I would just ignore him for now. William Jones, hi, thanks very much. Ryan and Kyle Walker-Peters and McCarthy and Justin. Probably Ryan and Kyle Walker-Peters. It's going to last you for longer. You're not going to have to worry so much about transfers on those positions. Alex, are we confident Souček starts? If so, I can have Bruce III on my bench with 4 million in the bank for flexibility. 4 million, wow. Souček has played a few preseason games. He doesn't have to isolate and stuff, so he's free to play. 100% I couldn't say, but he feels like one of those players. If he's fit, he's going to start. Like, why would he not? So if I had to put money on it, he would start. But obviously, I, like anyone else here, cannot guarantee that. Harsh, thanks very much. Che Adams and James Rodriguez. Or Calvert-Lewin and Havertz. Wait, what? The second one's much more expensive. Calvert-Lewin and Havertz or Pulisic is much better than Che Adams and James Rodriguez, I think. There's not even a guarantee that James Rodriguez starts. Calvert-Lewin one's much better. Obviously, the strategy is to look at fixtures, but what about trying to increase squad value? Will I track changes in player price? Early on, I will, yes. If there's a move I 100% want to make, I might make it early, but I don't like my decisions being dictated by the prices only. Vinagre. In fact, it feels like we haven't been asked too many questions about Vinagre. Here's what I think about Vinagre. He's going to start game week 1. I'm pretty confident in that. Although there is a guy called Tim Spears who thinks Marcel has a good chance of starting game week 1. But I feel like Vinagre's going to start if he's at the club because Nuno said that Marcel would need to be integrated. So Vinagre would start. But he's going to be a worry for a few weeks. But is it overthinking? Once he's got the spot, will it just be his until he plays bad? And he's not like he's a bad cover for Johnny, so that might not happen. But apparently they are open to selling him. So if the bright price comes in, he might just go. So for me right now, I'm spending that extra 0.5 for the safety. I hope it's safe, at least for size. But it does annoy me a little bit because if Vinagre keeps playing, he's going to be such a bargain. Like, he's going to be getting attacker returns, or Sice is going to be getting yellow cards. I really want to see a Calvert-Lewin 2 points versus Spurs. It could happen. Of course it could happen. It's Spurs. I mean, Spurs aren't the best defensively yet. But yeah, I mean, Calvert-Lewin's not in my team for the first game week necessarily. And before anyone says, why have you got him then? I don't want to make transfers straight away in game week 2 to bring in Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button on the stream. It would be much appreciated. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button as well. Because why not? We're coming up to 94,000 now, which is just ridiculous, to be honest. What's the time? 11:05. Oh, might have to switch off soon. Nihao, how's it going? Matthias Pereira plus St. Maximin or Barnes and Souček. Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, do we even know if Barnes is going to play? If they play a back five, there is a chance Barnes misses out. I'd probably go for Pereira and St. Maximin. Nuno's worked on him for years. I think he saved article today that Vinagre isn't for sale in the Portuguese press. Ooh. Should I go for him? If I go for him, I've still got that 0.5 in the bank, and I can have some, which means I could go to Rashford in game week 2. Who knows? Orba, please. You definitely set on him as captain and not Salah. I think so, yeah. I feel like I've been put off of Salah a little bit by all the Leeds talk about how good they could be this year. But I keep coming back to what I said early on. It is Salah at home. And Salah at home is always decent. But I'm probably going to go... I think Fulham is the weaker defence on paper. So I'm probably going to go Aubameyang. I think. We'll see what the panic is before the deadline stream. Another stream. Do I do anything else? Yeah, I didn't make a video for at least 6 hours today. It's the last day before the game week 1. Like, come on. It's all good. Thoughts on Mark's Bruno template team? I got to be honest, I did see that because I watched the Bruno discussion, but I can't remember what the team looked like. Was it the one with Robertson and Sice and Trent? James, yeah, I knew you were probably meant to, but the problem is the chat goes so fast I can very rarely find it afterwards. But thank God I can see this one. Do you think Callum Wilson could score better than Calvert-Lewin? Yes, he could. Do I think he'll do that early doors? Not necessarily. If all the Everton boys start, like the new signings and stuff, it could be really good for them for the first kind of 3, from game week 2 to 4. There is a chance. The problem with Wilson is like he was very poor last year, but he was in a poor Bournemouth team, or at least a team that was Bournemouth that did badly. Or it could be the Wilson from the year before where he was great. And if it's that one, then yeah, he could outscore Calvert-Lewin. I just think Everton have made so many exciting transfers in, or signings. I like Calvert-Lewin. But you do save 0.5 as well, and that has to be part of the discussion. So yes, there's a chance. I don't know if I put a huge amount of money on it. I started on Football Index Day. I deposited some money. Do you know the first player I bought shares in? Calvert-Lewin. I thought, why not? Back it. Back your man all the way. Leeds leaving space for wingers with their high fullbacks. Yeah, it could happen. I mean, a lot of Leeds fans seem to think the tactics aren't going to be adapted massively in the way they play. So, could be good for Liverpool. I would not be surprised if Salah comes away with a double-digit haul. Okay, let's see what questions we got that we've not answered. Yeah, Watkins from Villa. I think for Villa you can wait though. I don't think he's like someone you go straight in and buy. And obviously they blank in game week 1 as well. So it's the beauty of having players like Mitrovic, right? You can go to these players pretty easily. How long have we been streaming for? We've been streaming for about half an hour. Okay. Gotta get some sleep, Jack, how is it going? You don't need to ask me questions. I gave you all the advice you needed earlier. Just get players that score loads of points. That's what we should all be doing. You're thinking of double Spurs with defensive midfielder. Thoughts on Davis and Son versus Doherty and Ali? Tough one. I'd maybe just about side with Doherty and Ali, because I just think Davis, and we talked on the Scoutcast obviously about the stats between Aurier and Davis weren't really that much different, but obviously when you look at the eye test, obviously Aurier was always down that right hand side, and Doherty's probably as good an attacker. So I'd probably just go for the Doherty one because I don't know if Son is that far ahead of Ali. It's really close. I mean, I guess one way to think about it is Davis and Doherty are both going to get the same amount for the clean sheet. So is Son going to beat Ali for attacking returns more than Doherty beats Davis? Not sure if he is. So I'd maybe go for the Doherty one. Cheers, Physio. Thanks very much as always. Yeah, deadline stream might be quite busy tomorrow, I would say. We'll see. We'll see. Jack, thanks very much. You have a backup team you're probably going to use. Why do people think that? It's so weird. It's so weird. I've been doing this for nearly 4 years now, and not once have I picked a team to pretend that's the team I'm going to use and then change it. I will literally do a video every single week about my team. I appreciate people are new to the channel, but, you know, I just... Yeah, why would I do that? But the thing is, if I did do that, people would figure that out very quickly and just switch off. I'm not sat here saying this team won't change, but I tell you now, Werner, Calvert-Lewin, Mitrovic, Salah, Aubameyang, Saint-Maximin, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Seiss, and McCarthy and Steer, and probably Ferguson will be in this team. It's literally Shaw, Justin, and Son, who are maybe doubts. William Jones, how's it going? Havertz and Ali, or Son and Greenwood? Havertz and Ali all the way, I think, for me. Yeah, because Man United, there's still all this talk about maybe signing Sancho. And obviously Greenwood's going to miss the first game as well, so you might as well just get those points on the board straight away. So no doubt about that for me. Leave out Trent for the first 3 game weeks. You could do that because of the fixtures, but for me, I would just have him... Well, I've got him in, but I would just have him in and just so you don't have to make transfers down the line. You know? Everyone, there is about nearly 3,500 people watching. Please do make sure you like the stream if you haven't already. Much appreciated. And please do subscribe if you're new around here as well. We are trying to get to 100,000 subscribers, which would just be ridiculous. So yeah, hit me up on that subscribe button if you can. What's your opinion on Bamford? Lee's top scorer for only 5.5. Yeah, but... No, I'm not interested at all. Leeds fixtures are not good enough. I'm not sure he's good enough either. I'd rather just spend the extra 0.5 and get someone like Mitrovic, to be honest. You're a dedicated YouTuber to be filming at 11. Or stupid. Or stupid. Just put Martial in. I did think about Martial. Because, I mean, Martial can be put in pretty easy. So, Son and Mitrovic for, I don't know, Ward-Prowse and Martial. But, again, I just think Mitrovic for 6 million is kind of set and forget for a little bit. We'll see if I can actually stick with that. When, I don't know, Rodrigo or Ollie Watkins, someone puts in a hat-trick in game week 2. But we'll see. Am I doing a day job? Yeah, basically, when I'm not doing this hobby of Let's Talk FPL, I do a day job on Fantasy Football Scout doing videos for FPL. It's a good life. Coleman is under threat for John Joe Kenny and won't be getting nearly as many attacking returns this season. Yeah, no, I don't think many people are going Coleman, to be honest. I would love it if Kenny became the first choice, though. 4.5 million for an Everton defender could be so good. There's a lot to... I mean, Newcastle, Chelsea and Everton in particular made some really good signings, so it'd be interesting to see... it'd be interesting to see how that affects them and how quickly it affects them too. I think Chelsea will be the... Obviously, they'll be the best team, but... I think they'll be the ones that kind of gel quickest because they already had a really good team, whereas Everton not looking great with that midfield, and suddenly they're putting a bunch of new midfielders in there. I guess the fact that Decore's come in from a team that was in the Premier League last year and knows what it's all about could be decent as well. It's going to be really... I think Everton, a few people probably overlooking them a little bit. I think they could be really good. Both from defence and attack. Maybe. Fantasy Football Scout is more than just a day job, it's day and night. That is true, yeah. That is true. I need a starting £4 million defender. Any ideas? Well, Mitchell is going to start, probably. Yeah, he will for the first couple of game weeks maybe, but as soon as Van Arnold's back, there's a chance he's straight back out of the team. He is the only one, from what we know. That could change, but it doesn't look. It's not looking good. It's not looking like there's another Wan-Bissaka or a Lundstram this year. Phenom, FPL Phenom, thanks very much. I don't know if you meant to ask a question. I'll try and look out for it. Fabio 5.5 million will be a starter for Wolves. I really don't think he will be. There is not many people that think that. Again, I was listening to a podcast on The Athletic, and I think one of the problems Wolves have had is they've had no cover for Jimenez. Now they've got a bit of cover, but it's not maybe when he's injured or he's had to play like 90 minutes a lot or 80 to 90 minutes. Now maybe he could play a little bit less when they're winning, but I don't think he's going to be starting week in, week out. Can you give me your thoughts on bench boost in game week 1? I've got to be honest, I've not even thought about doing it because I've found it hard to have a bench with a team I like, let alone also having enough players on there to make a good bench boost. So in general, without seeing the team, I'm not against bench boosting in game week 1. I think it's a perfectly viable strategy if you don't want to save it for the double game week. But I can't imagine how you will get a good enough bench in game week 1. So I don't think this season it's necessarily a good bet, to be honest. If I transfer in Martial at 11.01, will that then carry on for game week 2? If you put Martial in before the deadline, he'll be in your game week 1 team. At 11.01, the game will be updating. Once it's back up, if you make a transfer, he'll be in your game week 2 side, but that will have used your transfer for game week 2. Wait, what? My brother's friend is dating Pulisic. Maybe that's true, but forgive me if I don't use that as a source. But yeah, maybe that's right. My my friend's brother. I've just seen that someone signed up to Patreon. Dominic W, I should say. So if you're watching in the chat, thanks very much. Patreon link is in the description below if you want to sign up. Like I said, there's a Q&A from earlier that I did. So if you want to go and listen to that, just get signed up. Lots of people talking about Burke from Sheffield United 4.5 instead of Basuma. Is he actually... Yeah, so he's a striker and he's been listed as a midfielder. Or he could play striker for Sheffield United, but I don't expect to see him that much, to be honest. So I think... For me, I've gone for... Basuma's kind of like maybe... If you can say exciting when it comes to £4.5 million midfielder. Maybe the one that's going to score points more than just 1 or 2. But it's not going to happen that often anyway. Taking a risk bench boost in game week 1. I'm basically of the opinion the bench boost should be used after a wild card or in game week 1. Now, obviously, it's all good to use it in a double game week, but it doesn't always work out like that. So I don't think there's a huge amount wrong with game week 1 bench boost. But of course, you're also banking on getting all the starters correct as well. So depending on the person, it should be fine. My sister's mother's dating Che Adams. Fair play to her. And is he going to play more than 70 minutes this week? That's what we want to know, you know. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there because otherwise I'm going to get not told off, I guess, but I should go to sleep. Like I said, I got an early morning Tesco run, like 7 a.m, then back for Breakfast Club, and then I'll be on here for a deadline stream. That will be the last stream before the Game Week 1 deadline. So thanks very much for tuning in this evening. I'd love to keep going. There's a lot of you watching. I'd love to keep going, but... it's probably a good time to shoot off. So thanks very much for all the super chats. If you do want to sign up to Patreon, get onto that Q&A before the deadline tomorrow. Click the link. Click the link in the description below. Get signed up. And if people do it like now, I'll get the Slack invite sent over before I go to sleep as well. But yeah, give the stream a like. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. There's like 3,000 of you watching. At least half of you probably aren't subscribed. We're on, I don't know, nearly 94,000 subscribers. It'd be great to get to 94,000 tonight before the stream tomorrow. Really appreciate everyone tuning in. Like, share, whatever. Get some sleep. Don't tinker too much now. Your team's probably fine. And I will see you tomorrow for another stream. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to some good sleep. Yeah, see you soon. Thanks for watching.